Hello, and welcome to the June 2024 Real Estate Market Update, brought to you by your favorite real estate team, the Reby Homes team. Let's kick things off with the number one question buyers are asking themselves: should I buy now or should I wait? With the Fed's attempt to fight inflation, mortgage rates have remained unfavorably high. At the same time, home prices have continued to increase, leaving many of those would-be buyers to choose wait. You may be asking yourself why home prices are continuing to increase despite high mortgage rates, and that's a great question. Chief economist for NAR, Lawrence Yun, states in the current market, rising prices are a direct result of insufficient housing supply not meeting full demand. And while that's only a piece of the puzzle, it's a rather large one. Demand has skyrocketed since the 2021 housing market and has not slowed. Of course, many buyers have been priced out of the market. However, there are still plenty of buyers that can afford to buy and are willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. As long as demand remains high and supply remains tight, we can expect home prices to continue rising nationwide. Other factors keeping new listings up year over year is the ease of the lock-in effect, which has sellers getting past the initial shock of high mortgage rates and realizing the sub 4% mortgage rates won't be returning anytime soon. Life circumstances change and moves need to be made. Additionally, newbie investors that scooped up rental properties during the height of the frenzy are realizing that being a landlord may not be all it's cracked up to be. Of course, this is not the case for every city and every state, but as for the largest metro areas, 90% of them experienced home price growth despite mortgage rates having no relief. And taking a look at home price forecasts for the remainder of 2024 from Fannie Mae, MBA, Goldman Sachs, the Home Price Expectation Survey, Zillow, NAR, and Freddie Mac, they are predicting an average increase of 3% by the end of the year. It's no secret these entities are constantly updating their forecasts. Goldman Sachs has lowered their prediction to 3.8%, as has Freddie Mac to just 0.5%. However, none of them are expecting depreciation. And now let's take a look at what's happening with inventory. Current inventory is increasing year over year. We're up roughly 38% from this time last year, but we're still 35% below this time in 2019, which we can look at as more of a historical norm. Typically, there are between 1.1 and 1.2 million active listings across the country, and currently we're just under 800,000. If we break it down state by state, we can get a better feel for inventory levels in different areas. Only 2 states have less inventory from this time last year, while states such as Arizona, Washington, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, and Vermont are seeing over a 45% increase in inventory since this time last year. But keep in mind, even with the rising inventory, demand is still outpacing supply. For example, in Arizona, companies like Tesla, Microsoft, Deloitte, Amazon, and Intel are all expanding operations, which will in turn bring more people and therefore more demand as new jobs become available. There are several factors to keep in mind when looking at a statistic like a 68% increase in supply to help paint the whole picture. 68% more inventory surely seems like a significant amount, but when you weigh that against historical averages, new job growth, and population growth, it becomes much less significant. And as for the topic of interest rates, while they are important to consider when making a decision on whether or not you should buy, the answer to the question, is now a good time to buy, boils down to whether or not it's the right time for you. And now let's dive into our local market here in the Phoenix metro area. Active listings are continuing to trend upward, which is unusual for this time of the year. We're up 54% from this time last year and 5% from last month. We're still not in a buyer's market by any means, but this is positive for buyers that have been seeking a little bit of relief as sellers are starting to have to compete with one another. Monthly average sales price per square foot is up 3.5% from last year, but down 2.9% from last month. We're approaching the weakest time of the year for the real estate market. June through September, many buyers prefer to spend the warmer months doing anything but looking for a house. It's not slow for investors, however. They're out and about taking advantage of the dip in demand and often pick up homes under market value, which will drive price per square foot downward. Expect prices to remain flat or lower over the next 3 months after a strong first half of the year. And with the new home market remaining stronger than the resale market, it's creating extra competitions for sellers. So bottom line buyers, this could be your window to get that relief, whether it's in concessions or price cuts. Seller paid closing costs bumped up to 48%, with the average amount still hanging around $10,000, and we can expect to see this trend continue given the slip in demand and increase in seller competition. Days on market has remained right around 63 days since Q1 of this year. However, with seller competition increasing and that demand decreasing, we can likely see that days on market number go up just a bit over the next few months. And finally, the rental market. Average rent price per square foot is up 3% from last month and from last year, with the median lease price being $21.95 a month. Seasonally, rent prices are higher in Q2 and 3 and then dip in Q4 and remain tight in Q1 the following year. So we can expect rent prices to remain stable until Q4, where they might dip slightly at the end of the year. And that'll wrap up our June 2024 real estate market update. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next month.